In the first of this 2-video series of 65 interesting and helpful facts about Veneto and Italy, you discovered the following. Part 1. The geography. Part 2. Access to the region. Part 3. Its history. Part 4. The cities and towns. Part 5. Famous people. And Part 6. Brand names. In this second video, you'll find out about Part 7, the food and wine, and Part 8, Venice, and the remaining 65 interesting and helpful facts about Veneto in Italy. If the first video was the taster, then this second video is the main course. So, what is it about the Veneto region that appeals to you so far? Whilst you're thinking about that, quickly check out the ongoing collection of news, reports, resources and courses on this channel that will make your introduction to expat life in Italy and La Dolce Vita even sweeter. It's so easy. Just click on the subscribe button below and then click the grey bell icon to ensure you don't miss out on future videos being uploaded. Plus, watch this video to the very end where you'll get access to a special report packed full of hot tips for when you visit or go to live in Italy. And now, let's crack on with Part 7, the food and wine. Number 35. One noticeable thing that's missing that you see an abundance of in other regions of Italy is pasta. That's not to say that pasta is not part of the diet, it's just that it's not the predominant dish. Instead, polenta and rice are the staple diet. Number 36. There are many local dishes that most people watching this video won't have heard of, but here are some to whet your appetite. 1. Polenta, made from corn or maize. 2. Risotto, made with rice, often from the Verona province. 3. Tiramisu, a dessert with an interesting story that probably befits the era of Casanova. 4. Pasta, called bigoli, a spaghetti made of buckwheat and eggs. 5. Fish, which is not surprising as you have the Venice lagoon and Lake Garda providing a plentiful supply of mussels, anchovies, clams, sea bass, brain crabs and more. When it comes to wine, the Veneto region is blessed with famous wines such as 6. Valpolicella and Bardolino, the delicious reds. 7. Soave, the refreshing whites, and 8. Prosecco, the delectable sparkling wine. For the food aficionados, here are some interesting and helpful food and drink facts on a province by province basis. Number 37. Belluno, which borders the Austrian Alps, provides very robust food, and one of its specialities is a cheese called skits. Pastin is a sausage made from pork and beef, cooked in white wine and herbs, served with polenta. Number 38. Padua provides Biancoperla corn, which is the main ingredient for white polenta. The aperitif Aperol has been produced here since 1919, and its bright orange colour is now a world-renowned cocktail made with Prosecco called an Aperol Spritzer. Number 39. Rovigo is the only other province with a coastline on the Adriatic, and so its main dish is the fritturi di pesce, a mixed grill of various fish fried in batter. Number 40. Treviso is home to Grana Padano cheese, which is similar in texture to the hard Parmesan cheese. This is also the province where Prosecco is produced. Number 41. Venezia, which covers both the lagoon and the city of Venice, has many dishes to choose from, including risotto with black ink from cuttlefish, sprats and sardines cooked in vinegar and onions, and the bigoli pasta cooked in anchovy sauce. When you do go to Venice, check out the Baccari, which are traditional wine bars you'll find down the narrow alleyways and streets, serving small plates of cicchetti, small side dishes of savoury snacks. Number 42. Verona, known more for its rich stews served with polenta and for the wines of Soave and Bardolino from the east side of Lake Garda. Number 43, Vicenza, which produces a cheese called Asiago and white Bassano asparagus, which is sometimes eaten with boiled eggs. Bassano is also where the spirit grappa is distilled from grapes discarded after the winemaking process. Part 8, Venice. Number 44. For such a small area, Venice has plenty to do and see. Known as the Queen of the Adriatic, here are some interesting and helpful facts. Number 45. The gondolas. If one thing epitomises Venice and the romance of the city, it has to be the humble gondola. These iconic narrowboats have been a way of life for over 1,000 years, operated by gondoliers who are highly trained oarsmen. Being a gondolier is to be part of a revered profession where, up until recently, it was 100% male dominated. However, in 2010, Georgia Boscolo became the first female gondolier or gondoliera at the age of 24 years old. Despite her father being a gondolier, she still had a very hard time being accepted. Considering that up to 4 licenses are issued each year after a grueling training program and exam to qualify, it's a very strict profession to break into at the best of times. Today, there are just over 400 licensed gondoliers operating on the canals of Venice. Number 46. St Mark's Square, Piazza San Marco. This is home to Palazzo Ducali, known as the Doge's Palace, and Campanile di San Marco, the bell tower of St Mark's, being the 4th tallest in Italy. Number 47. The Bridge of Sighs. Built in 1602, this once connected the interrogation dungeons with the Doge's Palace. Number 48. The Rialto Bridge. This is the oldest bridge in Venice, dating back to 1180, separating the San Marco and San Polo piazzas. Number 49. The Canals. The Grand Canal, Canalazzo, is about 2 miles long and generally about 5 metres deep. It splits the city in half. There are over 100 islands in the lagoon, connected by an intricate waterway system of more than 150 canals and about 400 bridges. Number 50. The Streets. To say that Venice is amazing is a bit of an understatement, because the walkways and streets are one big area of adventure if you want to discover the city, and the only way to describe exploring Venice is to regard it as a maze. It's best to ensure you allow yourself plenty of time to discover the city by this method, as you'll discover the Venetian way of life that most visitors will never see. Imagine staying in a local hotel, exploring during the day, and enjoying a romantic meal at one of the canal-lined restaurants in the evening as the sun goes down, when the city transforms into a whole new experience. Number 51. The Rialto Market. Here's another reason for staying in a local hotel. The Rialto Market is a must-visit attraction for fish, vegetables, fruit and flowers, especially first thing in the morning, just as the sun comes up, when Venice comes to life with the sound of restaurateurs, deliverymen, bakers, cafe owners and other locals buying and haggling for the best deals of the day, and free of tourists, apart from yourself of course. Based on the east bank of the Grand Canal, a short walk away from the Rialto Bridge, it's best to get to the market at about 7 AM and it closes at about 12 noon. Number 52. The Carnival. This spectacular event takes place in February each year to celebrate Lent up to Shrove Tuesday in St Mark's Square. The colourful masks and traditional costumes mark the times of the Black Death that cursed Europe in the 1600s. One image most people associate with the event is the mask with the long beak that was invented to help people protect themselves from the disease by filling the beak with sweet-smelling perfume. Number 53. The Characters and the Tales. William Shakespeare wrote one of his most famous plays, The Merchant of Venice, that captivated people's imagination and captured the essence of Venice when it was a powerful maritime and trading nation in the Middle Ages. And to add to the city's mystique and romanticism, three of its most famous sons have left an indelible mark on the city, notably the poet and infamous lover Giacomo Casanova, the musician and composer Antonio Vivaldi, and the intrepid explorer Marco Polo, who probably did more to put Venice on the trading map than anyone else in its history. Number 54. The mystery of a cursed palace. The Palazzo Dario, known locally as Cadario, situated on the Grand Canal, has a history that many people are convinced elevates it to the status of being cursed. For over 500 years, various owners and people closely associated with it have met untimely and sometimes unexplained deaths. The latest victim was the guitarist of the Who rock band John Entwistle, who suffered a heart attack there in 2002. Number 55. The Islands. Most visitors to Venice go to the usual landmarks of St Mark's Square and the Rialto Bridge, and some indulge in a canal trip on a gondola, but not many give themselves time to visit the other islands. With over 100 islands to see, you'd need to spend 6 months in Venice. A nice way to spend your time if you can. So here are a small number that you might like to choose from, although one or two can only be viewed from a boat, as you will soon discover. Number 56. Burano. This is 4 small islands linked by bridges, well known for its brightly coloured houses and the production of lace. Number 57. Murano. This is 7 islands made famous by its glass making factories. Number 58. Giudecca. This was a shipbuilding site in the early 20th century and is now home to a flour mill converted to a luxury Hilton hotel, with the Grand Hotel the Cipriani also located on the island. Number 59. Poveglia. This is one of those islands with a dark past. Firstly, it was used to quarantine plague victims in the 18th century and then became an asylum for the mentally disturbed up until the 1960s. The island is closed to tourists. Number 60. Sacca Fazzola. This is a residential island built in the 1960s by creating a landfill site on a salt marsh near the island of Giudecca. Number 61. San Clemente. Occupied by Camaldolese monks for hundreds of years, the monastery and its outbuildings are now the luxury hotel San Clemente Palace Kempinski. Number 62. San Lazzaro degli Armeni. Originally this became a leper colony in the Middle Ages and has been home to the Armenian Catholic monastery of San Lazzaro since 1717. Number 63. San Michele. This was used as a cemetery after Napoleon captured Venice in the early 1800s, as the French deemed that burials on the surrounding islands as unsanitary. Number 64. Sant'Erasmo. This is the next largest island to Venice and is full of ruined military fortifications and market gardens. And number 65, Torcello. Once a highly populated island, the surrounding water became a malarial swamp in the 12th century. Only a small handful of people now live there. So there you have it, 65 interesting and helpful facts about the Veneto region in Italy. With that in mind, don't forget to download your special guide entitled You Can Start a Brand New Life in Italy. Just click on the URL link in the description box below this video. Kindly leave a positive comment in the comment section below and then please share with friends and enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe and then click the grey bell icon to join an exclusive club of subscribers to be notified of all future videos being uploaded. Until next time, ciao for now.